Morning everybody. It is forecast to be 1 degree and frost out here this morning, and it is every bit of 1 degree and frost out here. Oh, wow. Wow. Can you guys see all the white on the ground? That is frost. Oh man, it is cold out there. So I'm just laying out a bit of pre-emergent this morning, and I know what some of you guys might be thinking. You might be going, but Henry, that paddock's already seeded. I can see the rows and the furrows in the paddock. And well, yeah, it does look like it's been seeded, but this paddock's been out of crop for a year or two, I think. So I ended up having a few beans left over. So I came out, I worked this paddock up so that we could get some beans into it, and we're actually going to seed it to beans. It's only 14 hectares to the north of the house. It's a tiny little paddock, and look, typically we don't seed crop in here all that often just because it's so small. We use it more of a little holding paddock for sheep and stuff like that, but since this land is over in my name now, we're going to grow some crop in here this year, so we'll try and clean it up a bit. Last time it had barley in it, was out of crop last year, so there'll be a fair bit of grass pressure in here, so throw some beans in, we'll be able to grass free it, and if it rains one day, maybe we'll actually have some beans to harvest, we'll see. So I'm just up nice and early this morning trying to spray this and seed it while there's still that bit of dew on the top of the soil, and that is just going to stop it being quite so dusty. If I came in here in the afternoon, it would be absolutely shocking. So yeah, we're just trying to get ahead of the curve a little bit in here. And yeah, she was like concrete in here. There'd been quite a few sheep run through here over the last 12 months, and I tell you what, it was absolute torture. If it was any more than 14 or 15 hectares, I think I would have left it until we got a rain, but snuck through it, worked it up a bit, came out yesterday when I finished that paddock of beans that I was doing the drone footage in, and yeah, just stuck the bar in the ground and gave it a bit of a run, and the beans were getting covered, so come back this morning and throw the beans down the tube and call it done. You know it's cold out when the boom doesn't want to close because the oil is so thick. That oil is just so cold in the morning that nothing wants to move. Goodness me, everything is just feeling stiff this morning. That sounds kind of bad, doesn't it? Alright, I think we're good to roll. So this little section out here is where they're running a trial. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that last or a couple of episodes ago, whenever it was, but yeah, they were going to be running, I think it was some lentils and lupins, but they soon figured out that there's not too many lentils grown around Jamestown because our soils are a bit heavy. So yeah, they've changed it a little bit now, I think. There was going to be an inoculant on lentils and lupins, but yeah, they decided, the people who want to run it decided, well, they figured out that, well, there's not that many lentils grown here, so I think they're just going to run it on lupins now. But in saying that, we don't really grow lupins here either, so it should be interesting to see. I've left the spot there for them, they marked it out, so we'll see. It's going to be a bit of a lucky dip. They said, oh, if we don't want to run the inoculant one anymore, and if you don't know what the inoculant is, that's what we put on the beans and the vetch before we seed it. It helps nodulation and nitrogen return and all that sort of thing. So yeah, whether they do something totally different now, I don't know. They were talking about maybe doing a fungicide or something like that, so you just have to stay tuned and see what they do. So the bitumen road is right there, and I guarantee you there's plenty of farmers driving past right now going, He's reseeding, he's stuffed up. But the first time I went through, I was just working up, so now I'm actually seeding. The plan is, once we're finished here with these beans, is we're just going to nip back to the shed behind us there. We were clean out the air seeder, so we're going to take the seed and the fert out because we're going to be changing fertilizer over when we switch. We're going to be going to wheat next, so have to put the small seeds plate back in there, swap some augers around over the road. And also, I forget, Dad's got to move some sheep in for the market tomorrow, so I might have to give him a hand with that. We'll just see what happens this afternoon. If he gives me the call and I gotta go, I gotta go. That is the home straight, and then we can call beans done. Not that you guys would know looking at it, so you're just going to have to trust me. Now I'm going to show you guys the easiest way to empty your air seeder hopper. Right, now because these are beans and they got no seed treatment on them, we're just going to dump the hopper here in this feedlot yard, and the sheep can clean them up. And you might say, well, why don't you just put them back in a bin for next year? Honestly, for a couple 100 kilos, the amount of stuffing around, not worth it. Not worth it at all. Nice little protein hit for him. Well, that all took a little bit longer than I was thinking this morning, but we're done. Beans done, vetch done, little paddock of peas done. So onto the wheat now, but I might go, before I fuel up the tractor and that, I might go fuel myself up, so I'm ready to go for the afternoon. Well, lunch was good. Bacon and eggs on toast. Hit the spot. Now for one of my least favourite jobs of seeding. I have to grease the entire bar. Let's do it. I'm just going to change out these two top hoses here now. I knew they were getting thin, and I just thought as long as I can get through vetch and bean seeding, I'll change them out, because we've got to shift 10 k's north now, and we're going to start seeding wheat, and I don't want these hoses to blow out, but I'll show you how I know. It's getting thin just here. See how I can just poke my finger right into that? If you come around the other side here, it's hard as a rock, so we are, and you can see from a distance it's starting to get real paper thin here, and this one's getting thin as well. Well, I kind of got lucky. Dad was about to take off in the loader, and I said, well, we're going to put that last bit of fertilizer out of the air seeder in the spreader, so if you take the loader, I've got nothing to connect up to the spreader. So he said, well, I'll connect up to that, drag it out, and we'll put the fertilizer in there anyway. Got him to give me a hand there for a few minutes, which was nice. So, oh. Alright, we're fueled, we are greased, I've done those 2 hoses, the air seeder is empty and cleaned out. All I got left to do on there now is change those 2 gears over, but I've got to go help Dad now move some sheep into the sale yard. So basically my job here is to sit up in front of Dad, in front of the sheep. We've got signs, flashing lights up on the roof just to let people know that there's stock on the road, and I'm basically like an escort for a wide load, but this wide load has a mind of its own and it could run and go anywhere at any moment. So yeah, we'll just we'll keep crawling up the road here, and hopefully we get there without too many dramas. It's not very far away, it's only probably 3 or 4 k's all up, I suppose, to walk them around there. So yeah, typically we tend to throw them on a truck, but it just seems like with the cost of everything nowadays, or in recent times, that it just costs too much to transport them on a truck that far. So you know, it doesn't make sense to load them in a truck. The time it would take to probably load them in a truck, you just about haven't walked around there. But the only problem with walking them around there is you got to deal with the general public on the road, which is definitely not ideal, but you know, it is what it is, so we'll just make it work. Alright, they're moved. That all went pretty smoothly, really. To finish out the day, I'm going to switch these 2 cogs back around the other way, back to standard. So, because we're done with beans, we'll flip them, and then I'll go inside the hopper and I'll put the small seeds plate back in. But we're going to do that the fast way. And done. Not that you guys can see that because it's starting to get too dark now, but this thing is ready to roll again. But it is getting late, so I'm going to see you guys in the morning. Good morning, everyone. Dad's out there this morning doing a little bit of rolling on the beans. He's just going to chip away at that in the mornings while it's a little bit damp and it's not quite so dusty. So he's just going to knock off that little paddock there this morning, I think. Park that there, ready to mix up some pre-emergence. This is a pile of leftover DAP fertilizer from last year. Now, what we're seeding next is wheat. It's going in on vetch stubbles. We're going to use this stuff here because it's, well, the blend that we've got is higher nitrogen than what this is. And because vetch is very good at returning nitrogen, it's probably not going to have the same requirement. So we'll save the higher analysis stuff for the barley and the wheat that's going in on beans and stuff like that. So this, I was worried that, yeah, it would have crusted over and picked up a bit of moisture, but she is looking real good. It's stored real nice in here. It stores better in here than it does in the combination bins, to be honest. So we'll have to get the loader over here shortly when Dad's done rolling that paddock, and yeah, we'll scoop some out into the truck, throw some wheat into it. I got to go, we'll probably go get the truck now, and we will get the beans out of it and all that sort of thing so that we're all cleaned out, ready to go. But yeah, that has quite surprised me. I was expecting to find quite the mess under there, but I'm very pleased. Dad said there's about half a ton in there, which, geez, they'd struggle to be that much, I think, but we'll put that into the truck because there's maybe 1.5 tons in the truck. and then we'll put it in one of these old small seed silos over here behind me, if I can spit that out. Doesn't seem any point there being 2 or 3 ton of beans left in a field bin there. Well, I turned around and Dad had dropped the loader off here for me, so that is absolutely excellent. We will roll the roof back on this fert shed and we'll load the truck. What an absolute marathon, but we are full of seed and fert, so we'll go fill the air seeder and then we'll have to calibrate the wheat. I won't have to calibrate the DAP because we used that last year, so that'll be easy. But anyway, then I'll probably come back over and fill this truck back up while the fertilizer shed's open and the loader's over there. That makes sense to do that. Get it all on 2 fields, but yeah, whatever's left in here or in there can just go into the spreader, I suppose. Well, all I can say is thank goodness you've only got to calibrate each grain once a year, because this is an effort getting switched over from one variety to the other. But what did we put out? We put out 13.650 and it thought we put out 13.386, so we got to adjust that up a little bit. Well, it took our cow factor from 0.610 to 0.620, so very close. I'm very happy with that. Alright, that is calibration done. So Dad's going to take the truck and refill that for me, which would be absolutely great. I've got to run into town now because I need some paraquat, because we are doing a double knockdown on 2 of the paddocks that we're going into next, because over the Easter period where we had like 10 or 12 mil here, they had double that up there, and there's actually quite a bit of ryegrass up there. Now we have sprayed it with glyphosate because it's so dry now, the plants are stressed, they're probably not going to take in much of that glyphosate, so we're going to come back with a little bit of paraquat and burn off anything that's going to make it through. So it's good because we'll get a bit of a kill on some ryegrass, but I don't have any paraquat here, so I'm going to have to go get some, unfortunately. But on the plus side, at least I can grab some lunch while I'm at it. Paraquat acquired. I also stopped at the roadhouse and acquired a feed, which was very healthy. We're full of diesel, full of product. Let's go get this done. Well, we are absolutely flying through this first tankful. We're already at about 25, 26 hectares there, I think. So yeah, not long to go, and then we're going to run down and grab the tractor and finally start putting some wheat in the ground. Done. Let's get out of here. Now I would like to just hop straight in the tractor and go up and start seeding, but there is another little drama that I know that I'm going to have to sort out. I noticed this fitting hanging off when I moved the tractor before, so I think that has snapped off. It's just like a breather. I think it's just a breather basically, so if I leave it, dust and stuff will be going in that hole there, which is really not what I want. So maybe I can get an easy out in there. I've got more fittings here, I think, so we'll grab another fitting and see what the go is. Alright, got my new fitting here. Couple of easy outs. We'll see whether we can get this thing out. Look at that. That was a little bit too easy. Bit of a weird place for it to break. It was very strange. I just wonder whether I didn't give it a nudge when I was doing these hoses, but I'd find it very strange that, you know, I broke that off. Now, I don't know if you guys thought yesterday when I was putting those new airlines on that they look a little bit silly and how long they are and draped around. Well, unfortunately, that's just the way it has to be. I don't know if it's a simplicity thing, but all the airlines have to be the same length. Otherwise, I guess you can imagine the air's going through the pipes, and if one pipe is shorter than the other, it's going to take the path of least resistance, and it's going to put more air pressure down the pipe that's easiest to get the air out of. So unfortunately they all have to be the same length, which means I've got to coil them up and make them look a bit silly on the center of the bar there. Otherwise you would not do a good job seeding. And ask us how we know that. Well, you guys have just bared witness to an excruciatingly long transition from beans to wheat. So there has been a bit going on. Let's get started. Well, there you go, folks. You are bearing witness to the first kernels of wheat going in the ground for 2024, and if I didn't film it and put it on social media, then it never happened. But anyway, everything is looking really nice. This was vetch country last year and had sheep on it, and I thought it was going to be a bit tough coming in here, but it is working up absolutely beautifully, and I just think it's probably because we had a bit of a lack of rain last year. When we have a lot of rain and the sheep walk over the country a lot, they tend to pack it down, and yeah, that top layer is really hard and kind of cloddy, but yeah, it's just going in absolutely beautiful. It looks nice and friable, and yeah, seeds looking at it like it's at a good depth. I've been out and had a bit of a scratch around, so I think we're looking tickety-boo. I'm going to settle in here now and relax, because man, was it a massive effort to get up here and start doing this. Anyway, I'm going to leave the video here now, guys. I just want to say thank you very much for watching. We really do appreciate it. If you want to support the channel or you want to see more videos, just consider liking and subscribing, because that really helps us out. You guys have yourselves a good one. Until next time, see ya.